I arrived 10 minutes early, holding a small blue box in my pocket. I had checked the ring 3 times before leaving home. Mia was already sitting at our usual table. She looked at me and forced a smile. "You're early." "So are you." I couldn't sleep. I pulled out her chair and sat across from her. "I brought you something." Her eyes dropped to the box. "What is it?" "Open it after dinner." "Ethan." "What?" She looked down at her hands. "Can we talk first?" My smile faded. "Sure. Is something wrong?" "I don't know how to say this." "Then say it badly." She almost laughed, but the sound disappeared quickly. "I need to tell you how I really feel." My stomach tightened. "Mia, we've been together 4 years. You can tell me anything." "I know." "Then tell me." She took a slow breath. "I don't feel the same anymore." I stared at her. "What do you mean?" "I mean, my feelings changed." "When?" "I don't know." "You don't know?" I noticed it slowly. I leaned back. "So you've been pretending?" "No. You just said your feelings changed. That doesn't mean everything was fake." "It feels fake right now." She looked away. I lowered my voice. "Is there someone else?" She didn't answer. "Mia, I don't want to lie to you." "That's not an answer." "I know." "Then answer me." She swallowed. "There is someone I've been talking to." My chest felt suddenly empty. "Talking to?" "Yes." "How long?" "A while." "A while means what?" "Months." I stared at the woman I thought I would marry. "Do you love him?" "I don't know." "Do you love me?" She opened her mouth, then stopped. I waited. Nothing came. "Mia, look at me." She finally raised her eyes. "Do you love me?" Her lips trembled. "I care about you." "That wasn't my question." "I know." "Then why can't you answer?" "I'm scared." "Of what?" "Of hurting you." I gave a bitter laugh. "You're already hurting me." She wiped her cheek. "I think I stayed with you because I was afraid to start over." The sentence hit harder than I expected. "So I was what?" "What?" "Your safe place." "I never wanted to use you." "But you did." "I didn't mean to." "You stayed because you were afraid, and you let me believe we were building a future." "I know." "I planned our future, Mia." "I know." "I was going to ask you something tonight." Her eyes moved toward the box in my pocket. "Are you serious?" I nodded. "I was going to ask you to marry me." She covered her mouth. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she whispered, "I'm sorry." I pulled the box from my pocket and placed it on the table. She stared at it. "Open it," I said. "I can't." "Why?" "Because I don't deserve it." "That isn't why." She looked at me. "You don't want it." Her eyes filled with tears. "No." I pushed the box toward her anyway. "Then don't open it." She touched the lid but pulled her hand back. "I should have told you earlier." "How much earlier?" She closed her eyes. "Before Ryan came back." My heart stopped. "Ryan?" She nodded. "Your ex?" "Yes." "When did he come back?" "Almost a year ago." I couldn't speak. "You've been seeing him?" She whispered, "Yes." "For how long?" "I don't know." "You knew?" "Yes." "And you kept coming home to me?" "Yes." "You look me in the eyes every day." "I know." "Why?" I was confused. "No. You were afraid." She started crying. I looked at the ring box between us. "What did you think would happen?" "I thought I would figure things out." "While I waited?" "Yes." I stood slowly. "Ethan, please." "No. Please don't leave like this." "How else should I leave?" She reached for my hand. I pulled it away. "For years, Mia." "I know. You should have told me the truth." "I was going to." "When?" She couldn't answer. I looked at her one last time. "Then I guess tonight wasn't the night you finally chose me." She cried harder. "No." I nodded. "Now I know." I left the box on the table and walked toward the door. Behind me, Mia whispered my name. I didn't turn around. For 4 years, I thought I was walking toward my future. Tonight, I finally understood I had been walking toward a goodbye. At the door, I stopped. Did he know about me? Mia was silent. Did Ryan know you were still my girlfriend? Yes. That hurts more than anything you've said tonight. I'm sorry. Was I ever part of your choice? You were. Then why did you choose him? I don't know. I turned around. No. You do know. You just don't want to say it. She looked down. I thought he understood me better. I nodded. Maybe he does. Ethan, don't do this. Do what? Act like you don't care. I care too much. That's why I have to leave. She stood. Can we fix this? I looked at her tearful face. Not tonight. Will you come back? I shook my head. I don't know. I opened the door. I didn't look back again. I drove home without turning on the radio. Every song felt wrong. Every street looked familiar, yet everything inside me felt broken. When I reached the apartment, I stood outside our door for almost a minute. I finally whispered, for years. Then I walked inside. Mia's shoes were still near the couch. Her coffee mug sat beside the sink. A photograph of us from our second anniversary stood on the shelf. I picked it up. We looked happy, I whispered. I opened my phone and started scrolling through our messages. At first, I saw ordinary things. Can you pick up dinner? Don't forget my meeting tomorrow. Love you. Then I noticed the changes. There were fewer messages from Mia. More unanswered calls. More excuses. I have to work late. I'm exhausted. Can we do this another night? I searched for the first message mentioning Ryan. I found one from 11 months earlier. Mia had written, "Guess who I ran into today?" I had replied, "Who?" She never answered. My stomach tightened. I kept scrolling. A month later, she had changed her phone password. When I asked why, she laughed and said, "I just wanted better privacy." I had trusted her. That suddenly felt like the worst mistake I had ever made. I found an old photograph from a dinner I remembered canceling because Mia said she was sick. She wasn't home that night. I had never questioned it. I sat on the floor until sunrise. At 7, I called my brother. "Daniel, you sound terrible. What happened? Can I come over?" "Of course. Come now." I arrived at his apartment 20 minutes later. He opened the door and looked at my face. What did she do? I stepped inside. Mia told me about Ryan. Daniel went silent. Ryan. Her ex. I know who Ryan is. She's been seeing him. Daniel rubbed his forehead. How long? She says she doesn't know. Daniel stared at me. Then he asked quietly, "Do you really believe she only started seeing Ryan recently?" I looked at him. What are you saying? I'm saying you need to stop listening to what she says and start looking at what she did. I swallowed. You think she lied? I think you already know the answer. I called Marcus. He answered immediately. Ethan, what's wrong? I need a favor. Name it. I need you to help me check our shared expenses from the last year. Why? Because I think Mia has been lying about where she goes. There was silence. Then Marcus said, "Send me everything." 2 hours later, he called. Ethan, I found something. What? 3 hotel charges. My hands went cold. Where? 2 are across town. 1 is outside the city. When? Starting 11 months ago. I closed my eyes. Anything else? Restaurants. Expensive ones. Same dates. Ryan. I think so. I drove straight to Mia's office. She looked surprised when I entered. Ethan, what are you doing here? I need the truth. About what? Ryan. Her face changed. Is my friend. A friend you met in hotels. She froze. How did you? Don't. I placed my phone on her desk. 3 hotel charges. Restaurant bills. 11 months. She looked at the screen. Those aren't what you think. Then explain them. I can't. Why? Because you won't understand. I laughed bitterly. Try me. She crossed her arms. Ryan and I were talking. For 11 months. We became close. Emotionally. She looked away. Yes. I felt something inside me collapse again. You told me he came back recently. I was afraid to tell you. When did he actually return? She remained silent. Mia. Almost a year ago. I stared at her. You lied to me for 11 months. I didn't know what I wanted. No. You knew exactly what you wanted. You just wanted me around while you decided. That isn't fair. Neither was what you did. She wiped her eyes. I never meant to hurt you. But you did. I was confused. I shook my head. You weren't confused about Ryan. You were confused about how to leave me without losing the life I gave you. She whispered, maybe. I stepped backward. That's all I needed to know. I stopped at the doorway. Did you ever plan to tell me? Yes. When? After I decided. That is a problem, Mia. You made me wait while you tested another life. I didn't see it that way. How did you see it? She looked at me. I thought I could keep everything normal until I understood my feelings. Normal? I was planning our wedding. I know. And you were meeting Ryan. I'm sorry. Was he worth it? She lowered her head. I don't know. I nodded. Then you lost me for someone you weren't even sure about. Ethan, please. No. I need to hear myself say this. I took a breath. You didn't betray me in one night. You made a choice every time you lied. She cried. I walked out before I could change my mind. As I walked away, I finally understood the truth. Mia hadn't suddenly fallen out of love with me. She had been leaving me slowly, one lie at a time, and I had been too loyal to notice. I packed one suitcase, left the apartment key on the kitchen counter, and drove to Daniel's place. He opened the door and looked at my bag. That's all. That's all I need. You don't need to pretend you're okay. I'm not pretending. Daniel stepped aside. Come in. I put my suitcase beside the couch. This room is yours until you figure things out. Thanks. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. The silence was worse than I expected. I reached for my phone several times, almost calling Mia, then stopped myself. At 2 in the morning, I whispered, "What am I supposed to do now?" The next afternoon, Sophie knocked on the door. She hugged me before I could say anything. I heard. Daniel told you. He didn't need to. I could see it on your face. I looked away. I feel stupid. You aren't stupid. I ignored everything. You trusted someone. I built my whole life around her. Sophie sat beside me. Did you have dreams before Mia? I frowned. Of course. What happened to them? I don't know. Yes, you do. I stayed quiet. She smiled sadly. You wanted to build your own technology company. That was years ago. You gave it up. Mia needed support. Did she ever ask you to give up your dream? I thought about it. Not directly. Then why did you? I had no answer. That evening, Marcus came over. He placed a laptop on the table. I have something for you. I'm not in the mood. You don't have to be. What is it? The old business plan. I stared at the screen. You kept that. Of course. I abandoned it. You paused it. For Mia. Then unpause it. I shook my head. Marcus, I can't even get through breakfast without thinking about her. Then work while you're hurting. That sounds stupid. It sounds better than destroying yourself. I closed the laptop. I don't think I can. You can. I feel worthless. Marcus leaned forward. You lost a relationship. You didn't lose your ability. Before I could answer, my phone rang. It was Claire from work. Ethan, do you have a minute? Sure. I heard you're leaving the old project. I am. That's a mistake. I laughed weakly. Why? Because you're the best person on that team. I don't feel like it. I need someone for a difficult client. Why me? Because you solve problems nobody else wants to touch. I looked at Marcus. He nodded. I said, send me the details. Claire replied, I already did. That night, I opened the file. For the first time since the restaurant, I forgot about Mia for almost 20 minutes. Then 20 became an hour. An hour became 3. At 4 in the morning, I finished the first proposal. Marcus called later. You worked all night. Yes. Why? I smiled. Because I remembered something. What? I actually like building things. Over the next few weeks, I worked harder than I had in years. Claire stayed late with me. She would ask, "You still awake?" I would answer, "Are you?" I asked first. Then yes. She laughed. Slowly, I began feeling like myself again. Then Mia started calling. The first time, I ignored her. The second time, I turned off my phone. The seventh time, I answered. Ethan, what do you want? I need to talk. About what? About us. There is no us. Please. I closed my eyes. Where? Our old cafe. I agreed. When I arrived, Mia was already waiting. She stood when she saw me. You look different. I've been working. I miss you. I sat down. Why? She looked confused. Because you're important to me. That's not enough. I know. She lowered her voice. I made a mistake. Which one? Ryan. I stared at her. Did you stop seeing him? Yes. Why? He wasn't what I thought. I almost laughed. And now? I want you back. I shook my head. You don't get to return because the other choice failed. I know. Then why are we here? Because I still love you. I studied her face. Do you? Yes. Then why did you choose him? She looked down. Ryan made me feel alive. My chest tightened. Alive. Yes. And I didn't. She hesitated. Not in the same way. I swallowed. Then why stay with me for 4 years? She whispered. Because you were safe. Those 3 words hurt more than everything else. I looked at her. Safe. I didn't mean it like that. You meant exactly that. I was afraid. You used my loyalty as shelter. I'm sorry. I know. Can you forgive me? Maybe someday. Can we try again? No. Why? Because I finally understand what happened. What? You didn't suddenly stop loving me. She cried quietly. You needed me while you searched for someone else. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. I stood. Ethan, please. I loved you enough to lose myself. I looked at her one last time. I won't make that mistake twice. I walked away. For the first time, I wasn't running from Mia. I was walking toward myself. I stopped checking Mia's social media. I stopped wondering where she was. Most importantly, I stopped waiting for her to change her mind. Marcus noticed first. You're different, he said one morning. I'm working. No. You're focused. I have a reason. You finally remembered who you were. I smiled. Maybe. We spent weeks rebuilding my old business idea. What had once been a folder on my laptop became meetings, contracts, budgets, and late nights. Marcus looked at our first proposal. This could actually work. I think so. You sound surprised. I forgot what believing in myself felt like. Claire became part of the project when our first potential client asked for technical changes. She studied my presentation and said, "Your product is good. But you're still thinking too small." I laughed. Mia used to say that too. Claire looked at me seriously. Then stop listening to people who make you doubt yourself. I nodded. Fair enough. For the first time in years, I made decisions without asking Mia what she wanted. I chose the office. I chose the design. I chose the business name. I even bought a new suit without sending her a picture first. One afternoon, Marcus walked into my office. We got the client. I stood. You're serious? They signed. I stared at the contract. This is our first major account. No, Marcus said. It's our first real beginning. I smiled. Then my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number. Hello. Ethan, this is Victor Carter. I became quiet. Mia's father. Yes. Can we meet? Why? Because there are things you deserve to know. We met at a quiet cafe that evening. Victor looked tired. I owe you an apology. For what? for knowing Mia had doubts and believing she would eventually work through them. I leaned back. You knew. She told us months before Ryan returned that she wasn't certain about your future. Why didn't you tell me? Because I believed it was her decision. I looked down. And Ryan? Victor sighed. Ryan didn't return only because he missed my daughter. What do you mean? He contacted me about a business connection. My eyes narrowed. What connection? One of my partners controls several investment accounts. Ryan wanted an introduction. And Mia helped him. I believe she did. I felt anger rising again. Victor continued. I never thought she would betray you for business. I shook my head. Don't call me because you want me to stop them. I'm not. Good. What will you do? Nothing. Victor looked surprised. You don't want justice. I wanted peace. You're not angry. I am. Then why walk away? I looked directly at him. Whatever happens to me now is no longer my responsibility. Victor nodded slowly. I understand. I hope you do. When I returned to the office, Marcus was waiting. Another call came in. From who? A company in New York. What do they want? They want to discuss a contract worth more money than anything we've handled. I stared at him. How much? Enough to change everything. I laughed. Are you serious? Very. Claire walked in holding another folder. Then we need to prepare. I looked around the office. 6 months earlier, I had been sleeping in my brother's spare room, wondering whether I had anything left. Now people were asking me to build something they believed in. The next morning, I opened the contract again. Marcus asked, Are you afraid? A little. Why? Because this could fail. It could. I could lose everything. Marcus smiled. Then build it carefully. I closed the folder. I will. For the first time, the future frightened me for a good reason. It was mine. I wasn't protecting someone else's dream anymore. I was protecting my own, and that felt worth risking more than ever before her. That weekend, I attended a business event with Marcus and Claire. I wore my new black suit. The room was crowded with executives. A man approached me. Mr. Cole, I've heard about your company. I shook his hand. Thank you. Across the room, I saw Mia. She froze. I hadn't expected her to be there. She stared at me for several seconds. Then she slowly walked closer. Ethan? I turned. Hi, Mia. She looked at my suit, then at the people around me. You look different. She nodded. I heard your company was doing well. It is. I'm happy for you. Thank you. She looked at Marcus, then Claire, then back at me. You really did it. I smiled. We did. Her eyes filled with something I couldn't name. Regret? Maybe. I didn't think you would. I know. I thought you would come back. I looked at her calmly. I thought I would too. She swallowed. Are you happy? I glanced around the room. For once, I didn't need her answer to understand mine. Yes. She looked down. I'm glad. I nodded. I hope you find your own happiness. She looked at me for a long moment. Then she walked away. Marcus came beside me. You okay? I watched Mia disappear into the crowd. Yeah. Really? I smiled. Really? I had spent years trying to build a life Mia would love. Now I was finally building one I loved myself. I was leaving the office when an unfamiliar number called me. Hello. Is this Ethan Cole? Yes. Who is this? My name is Nathan Brooks. I'm a friend of Ryan. I stopped walking. What do you want? I need to talk to you. About Ryan? Yes. I'm not interested. Please listen first. I have nothing to do with Ryan anymore. That's exactly why I'm calling. I looked through the office window at Marcus and Claire. Make it quick. Nathan lowered his voice. Ryan has been lying to Mia. I almost laughed. That's not my problem. You deserve to know what he really wanted. I already know enough. No, Ethan. You don't. I was silent. Nathan continued. Ryan talked about Mia with me months ago. What did he say? He never intended to build a life with her. My jaw tightened. Then what did he want? Her father's business connections. I closed my eyes. You're saying he used her? Yes. Why tell me? Because I helped him keep secrets, and I regret it. I wanted to hang up. Instead, I asked, what else? Nathan hesitated. Ryan was seeing another woman. I stared at the street. While dating Mia. Yes. Are you sure? I saw them together. Why should I believe you? Meet me tomorrow. I'll show you. I agreed. The next afternoon, I met Nathan in a quiet coffee shop. He placed an envelope on the table. Everything is inside. I didn't touch it. What am I looking at? Messages. Hotel receipts. Photos. Business emails. I opened the envelope. The first photograph showed Ryan with another woman. My stomach turned. When was this? 3 weeks ago. I looked at another photograph. Are you sure this is him? Yes. I opened the messages. Ryan had written, Mia will get me the introduction. Her father trusts her. I read it twice. My anger returned so quickly that my hands began to shake. How long has this been going on? Months, Nathan said. And Mia knows none of this. Not yet. I looked at him. Does Ryan even care about her? Nathan shook his head. He cares about what she can give him. That answer hurt more than I expected. I had once believed Ryan was simply the man Mia chose instead of me. Now I understood something worse. He had never chosen her at all. He had chosen what she could provide. Then I found another message. She thinks I came back because I still love her. Let her believe that. I put the phone down. Nathan looked ashamed. I should have stopped him. You should have. I know. I stared at the evidence. For a moment, I imagined sending everything to Mia immediately. Then I imagined her face. Part of me wanted her to feel exactly what I had felt. I wanted her to understand what betrayal tasted like. But another voice inside me asked a harder question. If I do this, am I really free? Nathan watched me. What are you going to do? I don't know. You could expose him. I could. She deserves the truth. Yes. Then tell her. I looked down at the envelope. I don't want to save her. Nathan frowned. Why? Because every time I step into her life, I become part of it again. He slowly nodded. That makes sense. I gathered the evidence. Can I keep these? Take them. That evening, I sat alone in my office. I opened Mia's contact. I typed a message. You deserve to know the truth, but I will not be the person who saves you. I stared at it for several seconds. Then I pressed send. The message showed as delivered. My hands felt strangely calm. I expected relief. Instead, I felt sadness. 10 minutes later, Mia replied. What does that mean? I didn't answer. Another message appeared. Ethan, please tell me what happened. I turned my phone face down. It rang again. Then again. I left it alone. Finally, I received one last message. Please. I need you. I didn't respond. Nathan called. She found out. How? Ryan's other woman contacted her. I closed my eyes. What happened? They confronted each other. Is Ryan still with her? No. For Mia? Nathan sounded surprised. For everyone involved. That night, my phone rang. The screen showed Mia's name. I watched it vibrate. I could explain everything. I could tell her what Ryan had done. I could become the person she needed again. But I remembered her words. You were safe. I remembered every night I waited for her. Every lie. Every excuse. Every time I believed her. The phone kept ringing. I let it ring. Eventually, it stopped. A minute later, it started again. I still didn't move. I whispered, sorry, Mia. Then I turned off the phone. For the first time, I understood something important. Justice didn't always mean exposing someone. Sometimes justice meant refusing to carry their problems anymore. Ryan had betrayed Mia. Mia had betrayed me. But I didn't have to betray myself by going back. I opened my laptop and returned to work. Outside my window, the city lights were beginning to shine. For once, I wasn't waiting for anyone to choose me. I had already chosen myself. Mia came to my office on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. When I opened the door, I barely recognized her. "Can I come in?" I stepped aside. She entered slowly and sat across from my desk. "You look tired," I said. "I haven't slept. Why are you here?" She looked at her hands. "Ryan left me." I said nothing. "He got what he wanted from my father, then disappeared." "What did you expect?" She looked up. "I don't know. You chose him." "I know. You chose him over me." "I know." Her voice broke. I was wrong. I stayed silent. She wiped her eyes. "Ethan, I am sorry." I looked at her. "For what?" "For lying. For hiding Ryan. For making you believe our relationship mattered while I was already looking somewhere else." I leaned back. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because I finally understand what I threw away." I almost smiled. "You understood when I left." "No, I was angry then. And now? Now I'm ashamed." I watched her struggle to breathe. "Do you still love him?" "No. Do you love me?" She nodded. "I never stopped caring about you." "That isn't what I asked." "I love you." The words should have meant everything. They didn't. "I loved you too," I said. Her eyes filled with tears. "You did?" "Yes." "Then please give me another chance." I shook my head. "You can't ask me to forget what happened." "I'll change." "You said that before." "I mean it now." "Why?" "Because losing you made me realize what you meant to me." I looked away. "That's not enough." "Why?" "Because I needed you to know that before you destroyed everything." She stood and walked toward the window. "I was stupid." "You were afraid." "I was confused." "No, you were choosing." She turned toward me. "I made the wrong choice." I took a breath. "Then answer one question." "Anything." "If Ryan had stayed, would you still be standing here?" She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. I waited. She looked down. "I don't know." Her silence answered for her. I nodded slowly. "That is all I needed." "Ethan, please." "No, you're being cruel." I stared at her. "Cruel?" "Yes. You used to understand me. I still understand you." "Then why are you acting like this?" "I'm not acting. You've become cold." I shook my head. "I didn't become cold, Mia. I simply stopped accepting pain as proof of love." She began crying. "I thought you would forgive me." "Why?" "Because you love me too much to leave." I felt something inside me finally loosen. "So that's what I was to you." "What?" "Someone who would always stay." She covered her face. "I was wrong." "Yes. I thought no matter what I did, you would come back." "That belief destroyed us." "I know." She sat again. "Is there someone else?" "No." "Are you sure?" "Yes." "Then why won't you come back?" I looked at her. "Because I learned that I need to choose myself before I choose anyone else." She cried quietly. "I wish I had learned that sooner." "So do I." She stood and reached for the door. "Will you ever forgive me?" "Maybe." "Will you ever love me again?" "I don't know." She nodded. "I understand." For once, I believed her. After she left, I sat alone for several minutes. Then Claire knocked. "Ethan, come in." She entered holding an envelope. "What happened?" "Nothing." She studied my face. "You sure?" "Yes." She placed the envelope on my desk. "This came for me." I opened it. Her eyes widened. "What is it?" "A company from New York wants me to join their executive team." I looked at her. "That sounds huge." "It is." "When do they want you?" "Next month." I smiled. "Congratulations." She didn't smile back. "I don't know if I should accept." "Why not?" "Because it would mean leaving this company." I looked at the office we had built together. Then I looked at Claire. "What do you want?" "I want to stay." "Then stay." She smiled faintly. "It's not that simple." I understood. For the first time since Mia left, someone was asking me to trust the future, and I wasn't sure whether I was ready. I looked at Claire. "Whatever happens, don't make your choice because you're afraid of hurting me." She smiled. "I won't." "And Ethan?" "Yes. You're allowed to trust someone again." I didn't answer immediately. "Maybe someday." "That's enough." When she left, I remained at my desk, listening to the rain against the glass. For months, I had believed healing meant forgetting Mia. Now I understood it meant remembering without wanting her back. I picked up the ring I had planned to give Mia. I held it for a moment, then placed it inside the drawer. I didn't feel hatred. I didn't feel revenge. I only felt finished. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Marcus. Big meeting tomorrow. Ready? I typed back, ready. Then I looked at the chair across from me. The emptiness didn't scare me. It felt like space. Space for my future. Space for choices. And maybe, one day, space for someone who would never make me question whether I was enough. The offer from New York sat on my desk for 3 days. I kept reading the same paragraph. International expansion. I whispered. Executive partnership. Major investment. Claire stood across from me. You've read it 20 times. I know. So, I'm scared. She smiled. Good. Good. Being scared means you understand what you're risking. I could lose everything. You could gain everything too. I looked at her. You make it sound easy. It isn't. Then why aren't you scared? I am. That surprised me. Really? Yes, but fear doesn't get to make my decisions. I leaned back. What if I fail? Then we learn. And if I trust the wrong person again? Claire became quiet. That is what you're really afraid of. I looked down. Mia didn't just break my heart. I know. She made me question my judgment. Claire sat beside me. You trusted someone who lied. That doesn't make you foolish. It feels foolish. Ethan, listen to me. I looked at her. You don't have to trust me because I am different. Trust yourself because you are different now. I stayed silent. She continued. You know the signs now. You know your limits. You know what you will never accept again. I didn't know any of that before. Exactly. I looked at the contract again. What would you do? I would take the opportunity. Because of the money? No, because you built something worth expanding. I smiled. You really believe in this company. I believe in you. Those words frightened me more than the contract. Claire, I'm not asking you for anything. I know. I just want you to stop punishing your future for something that happened in your past. I breathed slowly. Maybe you're right. I usually am. I laughed. You're impossible. And you're finally smiling. We worked late that night. The international deal became real. But as our company grew, something else changed. Claire and I became closer. We talked about work, family, fears, and dreams. Still, I kept a careful distance. I didn't want another relationship built on fear. Over the next month, I traveled between meetings, studied new markets, and learned how much work expansion required. Every night, I returned to my apartment exhausted but proud. Marcus handled the numbers while Claire handled the team. One evening, I told her, I never imagined my life would look like this. She replied, neither did I. I asked, are you happy? She answered, I am becoming happy. I understood that answer. Happiness wasn't a place waiting for me. It was something I had to build, protect, and choose every day. Then Mia called. Can we meet? I don't think that's a good idea. Please, just once. I agreed. We met at a quiet park near our old apartment. Mia looked different. I've changed, she said. I nodded. I can see that. I mean it. I believe you. You do. Yes, people can change. She looked relieved. Then can we start over? I shook my head. No. Her smile disappeared. Why? Because changing doesn't erase what happened. I know. Then what do you want? I want you to remember us. I do. The good memories. I remember those too. Our first trip, your birthday, the night we moved in together. I remember everything. Then how can you walk away? Because remembering something doesn't mean returning to it. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. Was I really that terrible? I answered honestly. You weren't terrible every day. Then why? Because the days you lied changed the meaning of all the good days. She looked down. What could I have done differently? I took a breath. You could have told me the truth before you destroyed me. She began crying. I was afraid. I know. I didn't know how to leave. You could have spoken. I thought you'd hate me. I hated what you did. She wiped her tears. Do you hate me now? No. Why not? Because I don't want to carry that anymore. She stared at me. I thought you'd comfort me. I used to. Why don't you now? Because your pain isn't mine to fix anymore. She looked away. I really lost you. Yes. Is there someone else? I hesitated. There's someone I trust. Claire. Yes. Do you love her? I don't know. Mia nodded slowly. Maybe that's fair. I stood. I hope you find peace. She looked at me, and I hope you do too. I walked away without looking back. For years, I believed closure would come when Mia apologized. But her apology didn't heal me. Her tears didn't heal me. Her regret didn't heal me. I healed when I accepted that the woman I loved had not been the woman I believed she was. That truth hurt, but it also freed me. The next morning, I signed the international agreement. Marcus stared at my signature. You're really doing this? Yes. Claire smiled. Ready. I looked at the contract, then at the people beside me. For the first time, I wasn't choosing revenge. I wasn't choosing Mia. I wasn't even choosing Claire. I was choosing the life I had almost lost while trying to keep someone else happy. And that choice finally felt like mine. I stood beneath the lights of our new headquarters and looked through the glass walls at the city below. 1 year earlier, I had walked those same streets feeling like my life was over. Now Marcus stood beside me, grinning. Can you believe this? I laughed. Honestly, no. We started with one laptop. And your terrible coffee. My coffee kept you alive. Barely. He shook his head. You built this, Ethan. We built it. Daniel walked toward us with Sophie. Sophie hugged me. I'm proud of you. Thanks. Daniel shook my hand. You finally look like yourself again. I smiled. I think I finally know who that is. He glanced around the room. Remember sleeping on my couch? Please don't remind me. Sophie laughed. I remember. Everyone remembers except me. Claire approached with 2 glasses of sparkling water. One for the CEO. I accepted it, and one for the woman who did half the work. She smiled. Only half. Fine. More than half. Marcus laughed. Don't let her hear that. Claire looked at me. You ready for the speech? Not really. You don't have to be perfect. I know. She touched my arm. Just tell the truth. I nodded. The celebration began. Employees applauded. Investors congratulated me. My family stood near the front, and for a few minutes, I forgot about everything that had happened before. Then I saw Mia. I froze. She stood near the entrance, wearing a simple dark dress. She looked older, quieter, and nothing like the woman who had once walked away believing I would always wait. She approached slowly. Ethan. Hi, Mia. Congratulations. Thank you. She looked around. You really did it. I did. I used to think you'd come back. I smiled faintly. So did I. She looked down. I was wrong. We both were about many things. She studied my face. Do you hate me? I shook my head. No. After everything. I spent too long being angry. I deserved it. Maybe. But I don't want anger controlling my life anymore. Her eyes became wet. I'm glad. I nodded. She looked at Claire, then back at me. Are you happy? I looked around the room. I saw Daniel laughing with Marcus. Sophie was talking with our employees. Claire stood quietly beside me. I saw the company logo on the wall and remembered the man who once believed he had nothing left. For the first time, I am. Mia smiled sadly. That's all I wanted to hear. You should be happy too. I'm trying. I hope you succeed. She nodded. I won't ask you to forgive me again. Thank you. She turned toward the door. Mia. She stopped. I hope you find the life you were searching for. She looked back. I think I finally understand what I was searching for. What? Myself. I smiled. Then we're both learning. She left without asking me to follow. I watched the door close. Claire came beside me. You okay? Yes. Really? I nodded. It feels different this time. How? I don't feel like something was taken from me. She waited. I feel like something was returned. What? Myself. She smiled. That's a good answer. Later that night, after everyone had gone, Claire and I stood alone in the office. She looked at the city. Do you regret loving Mia? I thought about the question. No. Really? Yes. Why? Because loving her taught me what loyalty meant. And losing her? I smiled. Losing myself for her taught me what love should never cost. Claire turned toward me. Would you do it differently? I would tell myself the truth sooner. What truth? That love isn't supposed to make me disappear. She nodded. That's something worth remembering. I looked at her. I don't know what happens next. Neither do I. I'm not ready to rush anything. I don't want to rush. Good. She smiled. Then we can take our time. I looked around my office one last time. A year ago, I had believed my greatest victory would be making Mia regret leaving me. I was wrong. Revenge would have kept me tied to the past. Her regret would never have repaired what I lost. My real victory was waking up every morning without needing her apology. It was building something with my own hands. It was trusting my family again. It was learning that love could exist without fear. Most importantly, it was choosing myself. Before leaving, I looked once more at the empty hallway and remembered the night I had carried a ring into a restaurant, believing my future was waiting there. That man had been broken, but he had survived. I thanked him for holding on. Then I stepped into the elevator, carrying no bitterness, no unanswered questions, and no reason to look back. I turned off the office lights. Claire waited by the elevator. Coming? Yes. I walked beside her toward the doors. I didn't know exactly where my future would lead. For the first time, I didn't need to know. I only needed to know that it belonged to me. And as the elevator doors closed, I smiled. I had not won because Mia regretted losing me. I had won because I no longer needed her to regret it.